Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us here. We're at the MGM Grand, and basically what is like a hall of memories of the 100 greatest fights that have taken place at this magical building. I know that you've drawn up for us a list of all the great fights that you've had the privilege to cover and have seen.
I'll start by going back into somewhere in the middle of my fight calling career, Oscar De La Hoya versus Shane Mosley, the second fight. I personally had an instinct that Oscar had been the aggressor, Oscar had pursued the issue more aggressively, and that he deserved to win the fight. All three judges disagreed with me. But the fascinating thing was all three judges reached the same score, 115, 113, Mosley. And if you looked at those scorecards, you could see that they got to that score, 115, 113, by three entirely different formulas. The second fight I'm going to mention here, Marco Antonio Barrera versus Eric Morales. The third fight, I thought that Barrera produced the signature performance of his career. A fantastic performance, start to finish, to get a close decision and wind up beating Morales, edging the rivalry 2 out of 3, and becoming the signature Mexican boxer of his generation.
Let's move on to the next one, which is Miguel Cotto against Manny Pacquiao, and this was Manny Pacquiao's first move up to welterweight.
I was not certain until they stepped into the ring that Manny Pacquiao could genuinely compete with Miguel Cotto. Cotto was clearly the stronger, more physical specimen of the two. But at the end of the day, Manny was Manny, and he was just as good as a welterweight as he had been as a 122-pounder and as a featherweight, and he beat Miguel in a great fight, so I had to put that one on the list.
Moving on, next, another fight that involves Manny Pacquiao. I mean, you talk about a trilogy plus. This was the plus. This was the fourth fight between Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez. Why is that fight so high on your list?
Because of the shocking knockout moment, which was one of the most breathtaking, if not the most breathtaking, single moments I ever saw in a boxing match. I'll never forget my wife, Deborah Lampley, was not alone in the arena in thinking at first that Manny was dead. That the way he went to the canvas, the lightning shot with which Marquez hit him, the amount of momentum that they both brought to the physical confrontation at that moment. Deborah was not the only person in the arena who gasped, who lost her breath, thought, oh my God, is he dead? So it was a great fight, and it was a fabulous illustration of the uniqueness of power counterpunching. And the last one on my list is obviously the most personal to me, because on November 5, 1994, when George Foreman at age 45 was trying to become the oldest man ever to have won the heavyweight championship in boxing, we were just close enough that I could ask him very pointedly, George, how are you going to beat Moore? Moore is a counterpuncher. He is a mover. He's a southpaw. What's the plan? And George said to me on every one of those occasions, never forget it, in exactly these words, you watch, Jim. There will come a moment late in the fight. He will come and stand in front of me and let me knock him out. And if you go back and look at the YouTube video, it's uncanny, because that's exactly what happens. He got Moore to move over in a position where he could step up and throw a jab and a right hand directly behind it, straight from the shoulder, no arc, and he knocked him out.
And your legendary call of that knockout was,
It happened! It happened!
And the "it happened" was a response to the fact that he had told me this was going to happen.
Jim, thank you so much for taking us down memory road here. I mean, this has been great stuff. We've really enjoyed it. Great stories, and we're going to see you Saturday night with Gervonta Tank Davis live on ppv.com. Join us for our chat,
where we'll talk about all 95 other fights that have taken place. No, not exactly.